Hi everyone, it's Weather for Weather Geeks, the Valley's most detailed, in-depth weather video. Let's get right to it, and a quick review of today first, and then we'll get to all the details on the challenges we have ahead of us. An interesting forecast. Certainly the wettest looking stretch of the summer season so far about to unfold. Today's high, 86. Our forecast was 87, so we were 1 degree off. That extends our accuracy streak to 9, going back to the start of the month, and for 2016 we're at 77%. Meaning 77% of our forecasts for the high temperature in the first time period were right within 2 degrees. All right, 70 degrees, the dew point this evening in Youngstown, 71 New Philly, 68 Pittsburgh. Zanesville, the dew point is 75. It's the kind of humidity that you oftentimes experience if you vacationed at Disney World in Orlando, if you've gone to Miami. We see this, of course, from time to time throughout the summer in this part of the country, but anytime it gets this muggy this far to the north, everyone really notices and starts to complain about the humidity, myself included. The radar, when I recorded this at 7:29, looked like this. Still pretty quiet across our area. It's been raining pretty crazily, actually, down in central Ohio this evening. I'm going to stop the loop on this and just do a quick little tour of what's going on to our south and west. Most of you will be watching this well after I record it, so this is quite the lightning storm going up I-71 away from Columbus and towards Cleveland, close to Mansfield. Look at all the lightning with this. This prompted a flood advisory for parts of the north side of Columbus, heading up into the Delaware area. Earlier on, might be a little hail trying to form with this. With all that lightning, a big tall storm, yeah, our hail tracker picking up on a little bit of hail there. So that's the most important storm going on right now, but I think that's going to miss our area. We're probably a little more concerned with this, just more innocuous stuff down towards Cambridge and New Comerstown, heading towards Dover, New Philly. This will try to track our way after sunset this evening. As you can see, our high-res futurecast is probably a little overdone, no surprise with some of this, but nonetheless, some of us are going to get wet later on this evening into the overnight. Again, I think this is overdone, to say the least, on how much coverage there will be with this stuff and how intense it'll be. So we'll go towards daybreak tomorrow morning, probably not much more than a scattered shower or two. Let's start talking about the heat index a little bit. We had heat index values today between 90 and 95 in most areas because of the dew point close to 70. And even though air temperatures were only in the mid-80s, when you have dew points close to 70, that's going to spike the heat index. And I think we can expect similar numbers Wednesday and Thursday. Here's a look at our computer models. Keeping a close eye on the green, the yellow, and the red. Those are going to be our models we pay closest attention to in the short term. The European and the purple doesn't do so well with these heat index predictions, but as you can see, the RPM, the NAM, the GFS models all get it between 90 and 95 over the next couple of days as far as the heat index goes. All right, as far as rain goes, again, some showers, some storms tonight, especially from about 9 or 10 p.m. through maybe 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Tomorrow, things are going to try to fire back up again, mostly in the afternoon and evening, and it's just going to be random hit or miss kind of stuff. There's really no way to say who's going to get this and who's not, but if you get under one of these, you get a hard tropical downpour. Concern is there for flash flooding issues in any of this activity tomorrow, again Thursday, and right through the weekend as well, because these will have so much moisture to feed on and not a lot of wind to steer them along that, and the ground is dry. So a lot of times when you have these tropical downpours, the rain just runs off. It doesn't sink into the soil. The soil doesn't absorb it. It just runs off, and that's what causes the very quick flooding issues that we sometimes see. All right, by Friday, I think Friday's probably the least active day of the next 5 because there's not much of a trigger on Friday. The atmosphere might be a little more capped, a little bit of warmth aloft, inhibiting a lot of activity. I think there'll be some spotty stuff in the afternoon, but compared to tomorrow, Thursday, and the weekend, Friday's probably a relative min on the shower and thunderstorm activity, and it's probably the hottest day as a result. We'll make a run at 90, and heat index values could be 97, 98 degrees Friday afternoon. All right, new graphic for you this evening, what we call precipitable water. I've labeled the graphic available moisture, but the technical term is precipitable water. That's basically how much water there is in the air column from the ground up to 18, 20,000 feet. How much water is there to be wrung out? And when you start to see these yellows and oranges, that's precipitable water values up around 2 to 2.5 inches. And believe me, that's a high number. That's not high in the deep south, but that's high for us. And I think by late this week and this weekend, we're going to have those precipitable water values up around 2 inches or so. And again, that's a red flag for flooding problems. If you get thunderstorms that are slow moving, going over the same areas, that's a lot of moisture to be wrung out. So that's going to be something we'll have to pay close attention to later on this week into the weekend. And even by Monday, the model here keeps a lot of juice around in this general corridor with the dry air lurking north and west. The drier air will make inroads finally next week, but it might be until the middle of next week. Check out these dew points. I mean, probably 70 or better a lot of the time, all the way through the weekend. Yuck! Easily the most humid stretch of the summer getting set to unfold. We've had dew points like this summer, but usually only for a couple of days at a time. 4, 5, 6 days in a row is something we haven't seen this summer. All right, as far as the rain totals, of course, we're in a drought. We need rain. We don't want too much at one time. So what we need is a drought-denting rain, but not flooding problems. This is going to be a touch-and-go situation. I suspect there's going to be some places that get too much rain at one time on a few occasions. But generally speaking, how much rain? I think as an average, I like what our models are showing here. These are the deterministic runs of the European and GFS, showing 2 to 3 inches or so worth of rain through next Tuesday. Now let's take a look at some of the odds on the European ensemble product here. This is the odds of more than 2 inches worth of rain through Monday evening. And notice there's kind of a bullseye, actually. Northeast Ohio, Northwest PA, pretty good odds of 2 inches or more worth of rain. Maybe 70 to 90% odds, according to the European. Once you jump up to 4 inches, the odds are, of course, considerably lower, but there's, again, kind of a bullseye in our region. The odds may only be 10 to 30% of more than 4 inches, but, those aren't super low odds. So, again, I kind of suspect 2, 3 inches worth of rain is going to be a good average through early next week. We really need that. We just don't want too much at one time. And so you're going to want to check this video often. Our forecasts will be updated constantly, of course, through the weekend. Could be one of those situations where we have too much of a good thing, but overall this is a good thing, with just some caveats. One of those caveats is if you have outdoor plans this weekend. Sorry, it's looking kind of wet Saturday and Sunday. All right, up over 7 minutes. I'll wrap things up. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. After our Olympic coverage tonight, stay up with us. We'll be on around midnight for the late local news. If you're up early tomorrow morning, check out Andrew DiPaolo's forecast on WFMJ today. Jess will be back in the hot seat in the mornings Thursday and Friday.